Hello, welcome back to this Let's Play of The Council on the PS4. The next episode 2 has come out. I think it's called Hide and Seek. Not exactly the most threatening of titles you could possibly do, but fine, fair enough. There's apparently only 3 acts in this episode. I don't know if that's just a given no matter what happened before, or if that's because of choices I've made. I did actually do what I said I did at the end of the last episode. I went back and played the game a couple of different times with some different choices. Glad to say it does actually change depending on choices, or at least it appears to. I got 3 different endings for the first episode alone, one of which involved a character apparently already dying, so yeah, our choices do apparently have consequences. Anyway, let's get into this. Where is my mother? Is the act.
Times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
I didn't hear that in this Let's Play.
Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Okay, that's kind of weird. So the thing that Washington said about our mother torturing a child, we did kind of hear about that from, no, I can't look at my proper journal. We did kind of hear about that from, it was not Emily, it's Elizabeth. I keep getting confused because they both have names that start with E. We heard about it from Elizabeth. She claims our mother did torture her, but we hadn't confirmed that in-game until now, I guess. I did kind of find out in another playthrough, and I wasn't actually going to spoil it. I'm going to try and keep the stuff I learned in other playthroughs out of this playthrough, because I do kind of feel like you're supposed to just stick with one playthrough and see how it all plans out, and then try other options afterwards, but whatever. I like to know what's going on. So anyway, I got to pick 3 manuscripts. What do I need? So I've got a level 1 ability of everything now, which is good. It also means I now need to start thinking about leveling these up, though, because it wasn't actually that difficult to get everything to level 1, as it turns out. I only just got it at the end of the episode, but still, it wasn't that hard, so it's possible this is about to get a lot harder, and I need to start thinking about which ones I really want. Manipulation is nearly leveled up, so I could get that now. I think I should focus on these 2, though, because I chose the, the occultist path. Is that the occultist? I don't know. I think it is. This is occultism, so I'm guessing this is occultist. Because I chose the occultist path, all of these abilities cost 1 less than the others do. So this needs 5 to get to level 2, whereas these only need 4. Let's go with 1 point in questioning. That's a good start. I'm really not using any of these skills that much, but I probably should. What looks important? Logic seems interesting. Etiquette kind of seems interesting. Most of these people are immune to etiquette, though. I've got psychology leveled up level 2 already, so that doesn't really need a boost right now. Let's go with etiquette, and let's go with logic. I don't know. I don't have any sort of strategy in mind. That's just what I think makes a good choice. So at the end of the last episode, we just met Mortimer, but we were kind of alone in our room, and now it looks like everybody's just gathered around. Oh, it is very opulent, I will admit.
At last,
Still has a boring text font.
Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. However, there may be some new developments, but I don't know if they are linked to your mother. We have found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. I'm afraid she was brutally murdered, stabbed several times.
So yeah, that was an alternative ending. In one of them, I think it was the ending where you go to see Elizabeth, but you don't stay with her. Won't spoil any more than that. You don't stay with her. You wake up the next morning and you are arrested under suspicion of being the murderer in that scenario. So kind of interesting that that's canon in this storyline as well. Although I'm not getting arrested for it. Hang on, let's just take a look at his character. I don't know what I actually know about Mortimer. He's immune to conviction. Okay. Lord William Alexander Mortimer, Marquis of Westphalia and peer of Great Britain, is an extremely rich English aristocrat as discreet as he is influential. An investor of talent, Mortimer's success in business was masterful. He finished by withdrawing from the public arena and isolating himself more and more often on his private island. A major patron of the arts, he finances a large number of artists in diverse fields and takes great pleasure in bringing together unexpected personalities. He does the same with the greats of this world, men of influence and men of stated time. He regularly organises social gatherings at his private island off the coast of England. Okay, so he's immune to conviction, and that is... What trait is conviction? I'm still learning these symbols. They're not always immediately, like, apparent. Which one is conviction? Okay, the exclamation point is conviction. Well, I don't have conviction as an option. I only bumped into her last night.
I can't believe it. We bumped into each other last night on our way to bed.
Oh, honey, can I have that?
Duchess
Okay.
Helsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You apparently bumped into Miss Adams, who wanted to speak to you.
Okay,
We
true.
are told you turned her away, and she went away on her own.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
Unfortunately not. She seems confused. I'm gonna be as honest as I can right now, because this guy seems to know
About
things.
something. I thought she was under the influence of alcohol, but we didn't really speak.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find help.
I thought it could wait until tomorrow.
Apparently not.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
Let him finish.
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
I don't even get a choice in
Maybe we
this.
start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
I don't need suspects, any details about this tragedy, go there. Let's go with the
Can you
details.
Tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Okay, he's got a point. I'm not going to bother asking for suspects because he's already said he doesn't
Get a
believe
better
in his
view.
guests are murderers.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Really? That's, convenient. Let me just quickly go and see if I can grab that honey over there, and hopefully he won't mind. What's the run button on this? Oh, there it is, R2. I couldn't remember. It's obviously very important to me.
The remedy of the gods.
Yes, it is. Anything else I could pick up?
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Did I finish last episode with conveniently free of everything, or is this just the game's way of balancing itself and make sure you're not too OP at the start of the episode? I like to think it's exactly what I had, even though it's kind of a miracle I ended up with exactly that much. You have a bird. Nice bird. Anything interesting? Leviathan. What? I think that's a new book. Leviathan. Is it a new one? Yes, here we are. Adds 1 point in politics. I don't really want that. I have not been using the politics skill that much, and especially since most people here seem to be immune to it, it's kind of not been too helpful yet, but that's probably just means it will be extra useful fairly soon. Hello, Pialgi. I'll talk to you in a moment. So yeah, that was what happened. Elizabeth technically died in one of the, well, it was pronounced dead in one of the endings. I didn't actually know if it was true or not. Apparently, we're sticking with that for now then. Okay. Like, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I know people hate it when the same outcomes happen no matter what choices you make, but it's kind of different to...
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Oh god, I have to guess words now? Arson. Let's move away. I can take a crack at it if I want to, but it'll be a shot in the dark. I'm not going to assume it's just arse, even though I'm so tempted to do that. Anyway, Pyagi, what do you know?
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Does he know why?
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis.
Anything else?
Last thing. You must know that Peru hit young Adams on the evening of our arrival.
Yeah, just to clarify, that's what would have happened if I had tried to do Washington's stars for him when you have to distract her. That's the fight I apparently didn't break up.
Apparently violently attacked her in the small salon.
Do you know anything else about the attack?
Oh, unfortunately not. I arrived too late to intervene. Young Miss Adams had already been submitted to the foul lout's rat. Otherwise, you can believe me, it would not have happened.
Okay, don't understand what's going on with the cutscenes. Last time when I talked to people, it was like a cutscene where I couldn't control the camera or anything. That time I had full control. Kind of weird. Don't know if it's just this episode has less polish than the first one. I mean, that's kind of believable, but... I'm a key with an occult water symbol. I have an occult earth key as well. I don't even know what those really even look like.
Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Yeah, I have no idea. Why are some books like things I can actually pick up and others are just books that exist for me to talk about? Oh well. So I don't know if the items have restocked since I was here last. I'm not going to waste my time looking through this whole place. Let's just go and check Alice. Well, not Alice. Elizabeth's room. Why do I call her Alice? Hello there. What are you doing hanging outside this room?
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Insinuate that he looks dodgy, speaks about Elizabeth's death. What is he doing in the corridor? Don't tell him anything for the time being. What are you doing in the corridor?
Must have informed you of the necessity for everyone to remain in their rooms until further notice.
Certainly, but I'm a guest, not a prisoner. I was looking for a servant, since we don't all, unfortunately, have one at our disposal.
Yeah, right.
Neither do I.
Now, sir. I will return to my room.
Okay, I know pretty much nothing about Johan to really make any speculation about. It's kind of an issue right now. I only know about a handful of these guys. Where's the body? Ah. Yep, still dressed in the same nightgown she was in the last episode. Right. Where to begin?
clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime.
If. I say if. It always is. For some reason that just always happens. It always breaks in a murder, and the murderer never thinks to get rid of that because it gives them away. Nope, that's the same look I read last time. I was hoping to see if anything else in the room had changed. Oh, hello.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light.
Examine the firearm, observe the grip, check inside the barrel. Check inside the barrel. I don't know.
The barrel is perfectly clean.
So it hasn't been used?
Well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently.
Okay. Observe the grip. Why does the grip matter?
A few dried traces of blood on the grip.
Ah.
It's difficult to know for sure how they got there. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. Right.
So, either Jack or Napoleon. I don't know well enough about French history to know specifically which ones they're talking about there, I'm afraid. Anything else interesting?
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
For the nobility, clothes make the man or the woman. Let's see what it reminds me of. I'm gonna go with logic, because this sounds more useful than whatever the hell etiquette is.
It doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Intriguing. More stuff insinuating our mother is the killer. That was kind of the thing that Elizabeth wanted to talk to us about, and I chose not to speak to her in the Let's Play. Last episode I chose not to, mostly just because I knew nothing about her, really, other than what she had to say about my mother.
What the hell's been going on here?
This was here the last time we were in the room. Why are you... I remember Mother's books. What's the connection with Elizabeth's deaths? This will cost me no points, so let's do it.
People believe. The pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil.
Wait a minute, why am I still getting information about Elizabeth and what she's immune or vulnerable to? I'm kind of past the point where I could use those unless she's not actually dead. I don't really want to spend the point just to question what this has to do with Elizabeth's death.
Rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
Unlikely. No, this has nothing to do with her death. It was here last time. What have we got over here? Kind of feel like I should choose the detective route now. Take a look at the vials, laudanum. That's a lot of points just to use science skill.
Shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
I really don't want to have to spend 3 points just to check if that's... No. Sorry. I'm being very cost effective for these. I was constantly kind of on edge in the last episode, making sure I had some spare, and it was a bit of an annoying pain. Right, let's have a look. There's a lot of stuff over here. The blade, the handle, analyze the knife. Why would I need to analyze it? It's
well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh.
Handle.
Part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The hand
or she.
With a small and slender hand.
Okay. Stand aside. Interesting. Oh god, there's so many things to check, and there's something on this wall. Hang on. How do I get over there? There we go.
Blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Or the element of surprise, that too.
Knocked over bottle of wine.
Smell. Why do I have to analyze the smell?
What kind of plonk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Brion. It's a great wine.
Why am I now drunk? All I did was smell the thing.
It's undrinkable.
I'm gonna get rid of this. That's a really stupid way of making the player drunk just because they smell for wine. I'm hoping if you use the ability that doesn't happen.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru?
He does have big shoes. Okay, and... oh, both her eyes are bloodshot now. Brilliant. Okay, just awkwardly kneel down. Let's, I don't think there's anything to examine on the legs. Examine hands.
Blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
Examine the symbol. Well, it cost me no points.
Pinnacle's a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle.
Okay. I'm not going to spend a point to reserve the wrist. He said there's no wounds. Examine the arm.
Marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Caused by our mother, no doubt. Analyze the scars. Meaning of scarring.
Made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life.
Enlightening.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control.
Not really learning a lot of useful information here. I kind of feel like examining them is useless now, but I've already done that bit. Examine the... fine, examine the legs.
No trace of blows on the legs.
Look at the tattoos, analyze the butt streaks, sexual assault. I'm not checking that. Look at the tattoos.
Similar to those on the rest of her body.
It doesn't feel like sexual assault. And that's just my opinion. Not a very professional one.
9 wounds on the thorax with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Let's examine the wounds. I'm kind of curious what he means about first sight.
Clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate.
Oh, I thought he was going to mention that these wounds were given to her when she was already dead. Yes, I get it. It's a very grim... You don't have to zoom in on parts of this.
What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Okay, our mother did some fucked up shit. Examine the head. Is there any part I haven't examined yet?
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture.
And our face is so impassive about it.
Maybe mutilations.
Examine her nose, examine her mouth.
What a strange smell.
I know that smell. I have to spend a point to learn something here, apparently.
It smells of alcohol and of laudanum. People use it to relieve pain.
But I'm not going to do anything more with that. Examine her nose.
From the nose.
So what, she OD'd? Why do I always have to spend points for this? Observe the nose.
Smells of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Okay. I haven't really learned much in the way of usefulness here. Nope, apparently not. Okay, is there anything else I can look at around here? Alright, we check the body, we check the blood, we check the knife, we check the bottle. There's like a struggle. We check this wound, there's blood on the wall. I haven't used my skill on that, but I don't really want to, because I want to save some points. Is there anything else I can find? Like, this is by a door. Can I not go out here and have a look? Because that seems like it's a point of entry to me. Apparently not. Right. Letters. More letters. These are just all stuff I've read before. I can't do anything with them.
June 11th, 1791. A notebook.
Oh, hang on. Something apparently.
It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
Why does everything cost skills? Like, normally you're supposed to be able to blunder through it without skills, but you just have a slight disadvantage. Here I have no choice. Translate the text.
It looks like a mixture of medieval Latin and Anglo-Norman. It is difficult to make sense of this jerky writing. I can make out some passages, though. He's coming.
Well, do so.
The demon is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son. That was her last entry. What tortured writing.
Okay, so obviously she's talking about me in the her son part because she has experience with my mother. But what do you mean he's coming for you? He isn't just deaf. Do you just see deaf as a male figure? Is that? I mean, other people have. Hello, servants. I didn't even know you were here the whole time. I'll talk to you in a second. Is this note anything different? Nope. Okay, servants, what can you tell me about what's happened here? Who made such a mess of this room? The murderer! Who else? Yeah.
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I know very little about right now. So what we've gathered is Napoleon was nearby. The footprints indicate it was Washington or Jack. And my mother's dress, or part of her dress, was found near the door. So, kind of have too many suspects to really narrow this down at all right now. So this is Washington's room. I haven't actually been in here yet. Let's have a just quick look around before I actually speak to him. Anything interesting I can get? A book. Inspector's journal. I won't bother reading it. It's just getting, like, I can't even equip it until later on. Golden elixir. Not that interesting. Anything else you got in here that I can actually use? Want to use, I guess, because technically I can use a golden elixir, but I have no reason to. Nope. What about this? This is usually something I have to open. It's already been opened. There's nothing in it, right? Oh, there's one I have to unlock. Come on, what is it?
They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Okay, that is good because it lets me use an ability for literally no cost, but I'm still not necessarily happy about having to spend a point just to get it. But, yeah, fine. I can't keep complaining about everything. More honey. Good. Can't go over there yet for some reason. Kind of feel like the balconies is what I should be investigating because I'm positive that's where the person came in to kill her. Even if it does indicate it's my mother.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend,
William.
Okay. This is why I can't trust George. He's such good friends with Mortimer.
Between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Fine, do it.
The Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
This weird thing, we're all supposed to be like party guests and so, and during this occasion we're supposed to put aside our differences, yet even so we're reading about all of these potential political partnerships that can completely, well, ruin any friendships that we have here.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
Doesn't he already think she's dead? Oh no, he doesn't, yeah.
I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Oh god, okay. He looks like he's grieving. What was his alibi for last night? Has he spoken to her? Ask him about the laudanum. Let's do the laudanum.
Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Does he take a lot?
Take it regularly, Mr. President.
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then?
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Okay. Have you spoken to her?
Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered.
Anything else? I don't really want to spend abilities on this. Do you know if she had any enemies? Does he know why she was here? Speak to him about the footprint. Okay, that's what I wanted to ask about.
Footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, he's not really providing me any useful information. I think I'm just going to go. That's kind of all I wanted to know is, does it match his shoe? And apparently it doesn't. Like, the clues seem to be pointing towards Jack. Of all the guests here, like our mother not being counted amongst them, like Jack is the one the story heavily seems to be applying is the... What did I just see? Oh, it's a coin again. These coins are just everywhere. And I still don't really have much of a motivation to collect them over there because the game tells me to. Oh well. Is this something? It's still not even a door I can interact with at all. It's really weird. Who's next? Who's this? This Piaghi?
His Eminence Cardinal Piaghi.
Well, Piaghi's not in his room, so I can't even go in. Brilliant. Why isn't he in his room? If we're telling Johann off for not being in his room.
That's me.
Yep. Hold on. I'm not going to go in there then. Anybody else? I think the next door was Emily's, isn't it? Oh no, this is...
Manuel Godoy.
Who's not here yet, still. So I can't really do anything about that. What else have we got in here? This is Emily's room. So she's already spoken to Mortimer. It's a good thing I didn't try and lie about not seeing her last night, because he already knew that was a lie, so... That turned out well. Anything else interesting in here I can find? Also, as it turns out, when I replayed the other sections, I saw what would happen if you did the other options, like taking the origami figure and watching Emily while she's sleeping. Those options pretty much doom you when she catches you going back in her room and holds a knife to your throat, because she makes the whole point of knowing that you were watching her the whole time. So, apparently being a gentleman was the right course of action there. And the origami figure was basically just a reference to a lot of people here having a work in development of Heavy Rain, which obviously had a big focus on origami. So that's kind of a nice little reference. Don't really know what it really has to do with this.
Emily. He was the English Prime Minister.
Yeah, I already know. She has a letter from him. I don't care.
Madam.
No, don't care. Right. Emily, you got anything interesting to say?
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Can't quite promise that one. Stabbed 9 times. She's immune to psychology, is she not? Hang on. Is she immune to psychology? She's either immune to it or she's weak to it. She is vulnerable to it. Okay, I'm gonna use my honey here, and then choose the psychology one because it will give me my points back afterwards.
Came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
There's not really much of a point in me interrogating her because she was with me for a bit of the night, not the whole thing, but where was she last night?
All the guests to establish the alibis.
Where were you after you left me?
Just
Or after
so
I
can
kicked you
cross
out?
You off the list of suspects. Can you tell me what you did after leaving my room?
You know, the easiest way to find out what I was doing last night would have been to invite me to stay, Louis.
But I didn't, so move on.
I simply went back to my room and then to bed. On the way, I stopped off for a brief chat with President Washington about some business that concerns both of us.
Very well, then. Thank you, Emily.
What was the relationship? Elizabeth, fine. She doesn't have a very good one.
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her.
You
I feel a
mocked
bit
her.
guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
Anything else? Speak to her about the arrangements for Washington. Speak to her about the piece of fabric the dagger was held by the hand of a woman. I don't think there's any point in talking about the fabric because we already established it's not part of her dress.
What's the nature of your relationship with Washington?
Oh, come off it, Louis. You're not going to go into a jealous rage, are you?
No, I can assure you of that. That has nothing to do with it.
I saw Washington's letter.
You're preparing a treaty to break the ties between the United States and France.
Whatever are you talking about, Louis?
I read your correspondences, Emily.
It's not what you think. So don't go thinking there's anything personal in it.
Are you
I didn't say there was anything personal.
agreements, Emily?
That's the job, Louis. We're all doing everything we can to serve the best interests of our nation. It's got nothing to do with you or us.
I didn't say it
Why
did.
didn't you tell me about it before?
Would you have told me?
Okay, she got strangely defensive about that. Like,
We found the murder weapon.
more defensive than she really had any right to be.
A dagger. Quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since the blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any...
Where does subtitles go? I'm not going to talk about the fabric. Goodbye. I'm just
I
leaving.
won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Okay, so he probably doesn't have much to do with it then. I think. Ah, Mr. Bonaparte, I have some questions for you, but first let me just see if anything in your room has changed since I was here last. No, there's some devil form, but I can't pick that up. I think that was... It's the same devil's form that was here probably before when I looked through all this last episode of the game, and I couldn't pick it up then either.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
So he should only have one gun. I kind of want to suspect Holmes more than anyone else, I guess, because didn't he say to Mortimer, like, he's got something to deal with Elizabeth?
My
I
dear
think I remember
son,
hearing that at some point.
I'm writing to employ.
Yep, your family, yep, I remember this. I searched there. Is there anything else that's new? Nope. Hats. Nope. Okay, everything else is normal. Let's just speak to him then.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
What are you busy doing? Let's... Does he own a
As
pistol?
any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you
Someone
lurking
saw
around
you
Elizabeth's
not
room?
far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
I don't really think the person that told me you were there is an idiot if you're going to admit you were lurking. Do you recognize the Prowler? Is he sincere? Well, apparently this is going to cost me nothing to
I've been
use.
studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side.
Or your
I wish they
cultural
all could
bias.
be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Okay, question him
Did you
over
hear
last
about
night.
young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is
Well,
deeply
yes, he's already
regrettable.
mentioned she's dead.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Who
Can you
with?
tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
I thought Washington
you.
was with Emily.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did anyone leave
Did
early?
any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you.
Until
what
what
time
time?
did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight, so I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed,
Wait a minute, did he say he wasn't paying attention who left and who didn't? You're playing cards with them. I think you kind of have to know who's there and who's not there. You kind of can't play against them if they're leaving.
did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No.
Did anything happen out of the
Did
ordinary?
you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Ah, good gambler. No, nothing else to talk about.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
That's kind of suspicious. Like, I swear Emily and Washington are supposedly each other's alibis, and yet he's claiming he was with him. But on the other hand, he named so many people at that card game, that if any one of them was to not corroborate the
So
story,
Jacques
that'd look
Derues?
bad on him. So, why would you take such a risk naming so many people if just one of them can prove you wrong? Oh, we actually get a cutscene for this one.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
Apparently again this will cost me anything.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You
One of them
don't
is like,
understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
Okay. We'll talk with you in a moment, Jack. Let's have a look around. I don't know if we shall meet again. At this point in time, I am a prisoner, snared by my own decisions. You must be protected. My future is lost without you. You can still be saved. No matter how much bitterness you hold against me, you must know that I made a pact with the devil who I thought I could master. I thought I knew the monsters, but what I did for France is nothing compared to what they're capable of doing. Now I can't see any way out. The jaws are closing upon me. I love you now and forever. Is he writing a will? Okay. He's got a very defeatist attitude about this whole thing. Which does seem very peculiar. Okay, hang on. Anything else over here? Nope. Nope. Anything I didn't get in that chest last time? Well, there's a ton of stuff I haven't got, but for some reason I can't pick it up. So, oh well.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Oh, there's a lot of things. Has he still got his gun?
The night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize
That's
you're
not
not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself.
I found his footprint at the
I
scene.
know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations. You've wrapped up the investigation.
What? No, don't end the conversation. I'm still
All right.
talking to you.
Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
I found his letter. Let's
I'd like
talk
to talk
it.
about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any
Well, I
more.
mean-
There's no point you insisting.
Okay. I'm not going to push and use my points on him because clearly he wants me to suspect him. Like, he's making literally no attempts to defend himself, help himself in any way. Okay. This feels way too deliberate as a red herring. Like, there's no way it's him. Surely. Like, no one would actually kill her and then be that so blasé about it and literally not defend themselves anyway. I think we said that the gun belonged to a French soldier and it's only really him and Napoleon. And Napoleon has his gun, but Jack won't show us his. And Napoleon's story doesn't exactly add up alibi-wise. At least not as far as Washington and Emily are concerned. So, is Jack covering for Napoleon? He said he said he made a deal. He definitely has history of Mortimer, and Mortimer's got history with Napoleon as
Sir
well.
Johann von Wollner.
Let's talk to Johann. I'm getting the feeling like he's trying to take the fall for Napoleon, but he doesn't want to. But he feels like he has to. Because of Mortimer. That's weird. I don't know how to prove it as well, to be honest, because I can't really gather much in the way of evidence. Okay, I haven't actually been in Johann's room yet, and I know pretty much nothing about him, so I'm just going to go ahead and try and look at everything first. Coins, that's not really helpful. This
The
is
signs of obscurantism.
just a painting. What have we got? Honey, good. I need more of that. Can't go in the balcony.
The
What's
Sorrows
this?
of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Wollner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant. So, Wollner had a relationship with Elizabeth.
Well, that changes quite a
That's
few
hardly
things.
surprising given his fondness for the occult.
Interesting. What's this? Oh, another book. Hortus Sticalarium. Okay, don't know if I can do anything about that one. Painting, no. Anything else interesting? Where is Walner? Is he in the next room? Hang on. Oh.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code.
No, not another one.
The owner's heart.
What are my options? L-I-Z-Z-O. He likes Elizabeth. Liz with 2 Z's. I could do an I. There's a nope. O-A-N-M. Like, it's a good puzzle. I'll grant you that. I have no idea how I'm supposed to know enough about this guy to properly solve it. Anything else interesting? Yeah, I'll spend a point to search. Go on elixir. That's not entirely helpful. I literally only use the elixirs when I've been using too many items and I've got drunk. That's pretty much the only time I'm using them at all. Because, well, I guess technically also when I sniff wine, I somehow get drunk off of that, even though it makes no sense. Amber fragments, good. I got quite a few of those. Anything else? Anything else over here? Oh, hang on, there was something there. Nope, Devil's Form. Nope. I rarely use Devil Form because it's only really useful for like trying to exploit someone's weaknesses in a conversation. That doesn't happen actually as often as I thought it would. Collector's coins, yep. Don't care about those still. Everyone's got these big boots. I don't know what he means when he says like it possibly is only Jack or whatever because oh no wait, hang on, they're not actually all big boots. Oh, they're just it's actually just like the bottom legs of a mannequin inside the shoe. To stop it from creasing or something. That's weird. That's very weird. I have no idea why you guys are just so needlessly posh. Talk to me, Walner.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can
Yeah,
I
he sounds so
help,
broken up about
monsieur?
it. Where was he last night? Learn more about Elizabeth tattoos. Where were you
Where
last
were
night?
you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly.
I know they had
Excuse
a
me
relationship.
for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck.
Don't
My
lie to me.
relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you.
What part of
Continue
investigating her
playing
murder
the
didn't you
detective
understand?
As you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes.
I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Oh, what do all these points? Well, this one's not going to cost me any points. Where's your relationship
the
over?
impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
No, you could have been a jealous lover. The rest of these are all going to cost me a point. I don't even want to spend a lot of points. How long does your relationship last? That feels like a... No, he's going to be defensive about that. I want to know, but I don't want to waste too many points. Let's just... let's ask.
Exactly
I have
how
to get to
long
know
have you
these
been
people.
seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
I'm going to
It's-
tell on you.
It's only been a few weeks.
Okay. Did you love her? Well, that's kind of a given. I don't need to ask. The nature of your relationship?
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
Okay. Fair enough. You know, I don't actually hear that often enough. I should. I kind of like that as a reasoning. Learn more about... I don't really think they matter,
Did you
but
see
fine.
how many tattoos Miss Adams had on her?
Of course. Who wouldn't have noticed?
Always vulnerable to diversion.
Yes, but I'm sure that an expert like yourself must have an opinion on the subject.
I do. She was seeking to imprison something inside her. Her own body had become a sort of prison.
She wanted to protect herself. Is that what you're saying?
Elizabeth was a flame, a candle in the night. And like all candles in the night, she was surrounded by darkness, by her demons, call it what you will. One thing is for sure. She struggled against hell and high water not to let her flame go out.
Interesting. Okay, that's enough.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
So... I get the feeling this game will have a supernatural elements to it. Like, all this fighting for a book. Well, seemingly it's about a book. That's kind of the impression I got from Emily in the last episode. So... maybe she was killed by her demon, so to speak. I know that they're talking about it in a metaphorical sense. I know that's what the story's going to try and imply it is, but maybe it is literal as well. I don't know. It's weird. They did let me investigate the pentagram, which is weird, because the pentagram was there before she died, and I couldn't really do anything with it beforehand, even though it was there. Why have you got a massive hole here? Your home has some of the weirdest design choices. A balcony with no railing and this just makes no sense. I'm not going to speak to Piagi again because I can't really do anything with him. So I don't get to talk to Gregory at all. Or see his room or anything. It is his room, right? Like, I swear this is where I've heard that he's supposed to live. I can't even get downstairs to check the rest of this stuff. There's a staircase over there and some more rooms, but I can't access them right now. Garden, I haven't even been let into the garden. I'd love to be able to investigate there, but I can't. Nope. See, the question says investigate investigate Adam's death, but I don't know, like, how much room they're actually giving me to do that right now, because I don't seem to be making any progress with that. I mean, I've spoken to everybody, but the game doesn't seem to recognize that any progress is being made. Hello there, parrots. Can I speak with you? You're not even a parrot, you're a raven or something. I don't know. I guess I just gotta talk to you again. I don't know what to say to him though, I mean I haven't solved anything. Where is Sir Gregory, Mr.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Remind him of facts we already know. I have a culprit. I have clues, but prefer not to accuse anyone. Goodbye. Okay, let's remind him of the facts we know.
Of the facts we already know about?
Let's just go over it.
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Holm and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
Okay, so stories aren't exactly contradictions, they're just not entirely accurate. Right, I have clues, prefer not to accuse anyone. Like, all of the evidence right now is saying go for Jack. No alibi, no gun, the boot was at the scene of the crime. It really wants me to accuse him, but that just feels too obvious. It just doesn't... I don't want to. I'm not doing it.
My lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really?
Nope, I got Vidicog. What's that? You gain 1 point in vigilance. You have found all the clues and explored all the traits during the investigation into Elizabeth Adams' death. Oh, have I? Okay. Good to know. Okay.
See. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Okay. Kind of feel like that we're just sweeping that issue aside, we're fine. She isn't missing, she's in hiding, she does it often. I don't want to say she's in hiding because... I don't want to say Ivory used to, actually, because I don't want to tip him off.
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried.
I don't trust Mortimer.
My mother has taken a few liberties during her missions, including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our
Liar.
friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Did my mother sell arms? Why help a captain? Did my mother sell arms? That's the thing we're
Did my mother
curious
intend
about.
to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable.
Accountable
France
for what?
is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much.
I don't get any
this
choice in the
way,
matter.
You'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
Well, I don't really owe it to you to tell you anything. I don't trust you.
Only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
To be fair, that is the
this
truth. We don't know.
usual for her?
We
As head of
suspect.
the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something
If-
I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Maybe she's wary of someone. She might have discovered something. Maybe she's lost her mind. Wary of someone. I feel like that's comfortable enough to admit. Like, me saying that doesn't mean I'm onto him or anything.
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
Wait, Johann was already here? Adams was here as
You
well,
forget
just
Elizabeth
pointing it out there.
Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
Enough about her, what of its appearance, what did you speak about together? Let's not be
You
dismissive.
seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Well, no, for these apparently going to cost me anything.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the Third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
The famous papal bull of Pope Gregory the
Nothing lulls
yeah, sure,
my
just show off
childhood
I know
with tales
things.
of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
This
Oh,
one means nothing to me.
I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
Well, you don't want to change the topic to my mother.
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol.
Oh, so that's public
Then,
knowledge now,
before
is it?
Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
Wait a minute, hang on. He said that happened on the night of my arrival. Actually, yeah, that makes sense, because the other vision we saw of him talking to Napoleon was happening in real time. So, yeah, that does actually make sense. Ah, so Emily's sister was literally killed as me and her were arriving on the islands. That's awkward. It was already awkward enough. Now I've got that detail as well.
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
The room was just opposite Mortimer's study.
So fair then. Okay. We'll do that in the next episode. I feel like we've done enough today. So we've investigated Elizabeth's death and kind of came to inconclusive results. I know, like, it's all pointing towards Jack, but that's just not... It's too obvious. It's not... it's the meta reason, I know, but it is too obvious. And, like, how am I supposed to reliably, I don't know, do justice when I feel like the person I'm reporting this to is corrupt himself, you know? It feels like it's all one big trap. So, I'd rather not accuse Jack, even though all the evidence is pointing towards him. Anyway, we'll go and check out what's in this room, what Mother was up to in the next episode. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.